YouTube. Today's video is an evidence and it should be motivation for all the parents, those who have young children, that they can do the road trips and they can do the road trips far. And how far? Maybe all the way to the Arctic Ocean. That's what we did last year. That was so amazing experience. I want to share that experience with you guys in this video today. And if you want to follow the whole series, whole episodes in the detail, then please do not forget to subscribe. And I am linking a playlist link up here. Click that link and then you will get all the videos from home all the way to the Arctic Ocean. If you're planning to do this trip, then I will highly recommend Milepost. Have it before your trip, read it and keep it along with you on the trip. And the second book I will highly recommend if you're doing Dempster Highway, that is called Canada's Western Arctic. It has so much details about the highway and the communities along the highway and its culture and history. So you must have it, read it before and keep it along with you on the journey. Third one is Travel Log of Dempster Highway. Keep watching this video. I have mentioned about that book when we reached at Tombstone Territorial Park. Our journey started from Maple Ridge, BC. That is a beautiful town and it is very close to Vancouver, BC. So we started from the west coast and we started on June 2nd and our first major destination was the Dawson Creek. Dawson Creek is a town which has a big sign that you are entering world famous Alaska Highway. It has 0 mile. It is definitely a must stop for picture taking. That is a good landmark to start your journey. And from Dawson Creek, our next stop was Fort Nelson. We stopped at Fort Nelson because one of my good friend, he lives there, and there is a very interesting museum. They carry some of the equipment which was used for the construction of the Alaska Highway in those times, like 1942, and they still have those old army vehicles there and a couple of other things which were used during the construction. Muncho Lake is not too far. Before you reach Muncho Lake, you have to go through highest pass of Alaska Highway, that is called Summit Pass, and there is a Summit Lake as well. So you go through those mountains, then you kind of get in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. That is Muncho Lake. Muncho Lake is a very beautiful lake. It has green water surrounded by very beautiful mountains, amazing landscape. Also have a resort and there is also a gas station. So all the details are up here in this video about the Muncho Lake, why the water is green. So it is a must stop, stay there for 1 or 2 days. Liard River hot springs, those are sulfur hot springs, very refreshing. It's worth having a dip there. So when you're passing by Alaska Highway, if you don't stop there, I will say your journey is not complete if you have not stopped by those amazing hot springs. There is a special episode about that one as well. The link is again up here. Surrounding area of the Liard River hot springs has a lot of wildlife. Came across more than 1 bear and herds of bisons. That is so interesting to watch them so closely, but make your safe distance, because bison and you can guess who is the winner. So that's why I never go too close to them. After driving a couple of hours from Liard River Hot Springs, we entered Yukon. They have a very beautiful sign saying Yukon, larger than life. So that is definitely a must stop. Just pull over, have a picture with that sign, and then carry on towards Watson Lake. Watson Lake has very interesting signpost forest, which has a history related to Alaska Highway construction. So link is again up here if you want to go watch that detailed video about that. From Watson Lake we drove towards Whitehorse, and before you reach the Whitehorse there is very beautiful village that is known as Thessaline village. It is at the bank of a very large water body, and that is the largest water crossing of the Alaska Highway as well. That bridge is very interesting. It is a metal bridge when you go across it. You can hear the sound of metal when you drive over it, because it's different sound than driving over a cement or the asphalt. From there, Whitehorse is not too far. We arrived there at midnight. We stayed overnight in the Walmart parking lot because we were too late to reach there. Next morning, we moved to the RV park. We cleaned up, restocked our groceries, visited the visitor center. That is very informative, and the displays are amazing in their visitor center as well. So even when we were staying on in Whitehorse, I took kids to the wildlife preserve. It has a very interesting wildlife preserve. They have lots of animals from north. I made a detailed video about that preserve as well. The link is up here for that one if you want to go in detail. From Whitehorse, a new leg of our journey started. That was Klondike Highway North. I have never driven that highway before, so it was very interesting for us to hit that highway and then made it all the way to the Dawson city. But the interesting part is when you go through that highway, there are a couple of roadhouses along the highway which were used during the gold rush for the travelers to stay during their travels. And there was one which was very interesting, and they made it a historical site, so we stopped there as well. Dawson city itself, it is very well kept city, very antique. I would say the visitor center is very informative, and it looks like you have gone back to that period of the gold rush. We also went there for gold panning on a claim. That was interesting. We never found anything, but we found a very small dirt piece of gold after panning about maybe 2 hours. So it was fun for us. We did that. From there, another leg, which is very interesting, and that was a kind of dream come true for us, the Dempster highway. That's what we wanted to do. That's what it was all about. when we hit the Dempster highway, we stopped by the landmark, took a picture, then filled the gas. That is the most important part, because once you fill the gas from the corner of the Dempster highway and the Klondike highway, the next gas station is 369 kilometers in Eagle Plains. After driving about 72 kilometers on Dempster highway, Tombstone Territorial Park, that is a must stop. At least a day, maybe 2 or more. It depends what you want to do there. We stayed there for almost a day, full day, and then we did a small hike, or you can say walk, in those small, we can call it bushes, or the trees of the tundra, because they are not big trees. They are that high or a little more high, and then but they are very old trees. So it was interesting. We did that hike with the Klondike River. Their interpretive center is very informative. They have very nice, amazing displays, and also do not forget to get a log book of the Dempster highway from them, because that log book will make your journey more interesting, because when you know like what is at what kilometer, that is so interesting, and it gives you a little brief history of that region and the information about the geography, step by step, kilometer by kilometer. So grab it from them and make sure you return it to them on your way back, because they recycle those books and they give the same books to the next travelers as well. So that was Tombstone Territorial Park Campground, which is called Tombstone Mountain Campground. It has 36 sites, and it is 1034 meters above the sea level. Very nice place to relax for a day or two and explore the surroundings. And make sure, if you are not stopping at this campground, then try to get to the interpretive center before they close in the evening. That is about 5 p.m., but check the time before you leave, so you can get all the information about Dempster, especially that travel log, which is very good to have on your journey. And once you leave the campsite towards Inuvik, driving a little bit up the mountain, then you reach to a viewpoint. That is the best viewpoint of my lifetime, I can say. The panoramic view and view of the Tombstone Mountains, wonderful, phenomenal. We stopped there and enjoyed the view for some time, took our pictures, and then we headed towards Two Moose Lake, and then next was the Chapman Lake. Chapman Lake has a history connected with the construction of the Dempster highway, because in 1960s, Canadian government thought, okay, we should not build that highway any further, and the construction stopped at Chapman Lake. That is the largest lake along the Dempster highway. But views are beautiful. Like, doesn't matter which direction, north, south, east, west. Views are amazing. There is another interesting fact about Dempster Highway, that it has a couple of airstrips on it. Like, we shared the road with the airplanes. When we were driving on it, we never came across any airplanes, but those sections of the highway, they are emergency airstrips and planes can land there. That is no stopping zone, and it is very well marked areas with the cones and the orange markers along the side of it, and they are very well maintained and flat. So watch for the planes if you're going through that area, and that is no stopping zone, but that is so interesting to drive on those airstrips which are made for emergency landings. So when you drive along the Red Creek, you can see that it is a different kind of water. It is mineral rich waters, and the rock color is different, It goes along the highway for 25 kilometers. We stopped for a bit, enjoyed that colorful water and the rocks, and then we carried on our journey onwards. We are stopped at the Red Creek, which is very rich in minerals and especially the sulfur. Along the Dempster highway, it runs along the highway for about 25 kilometers from 168 kilometer onwards to the north. Yeah, look at this. Everything is colored in this creek. When we reached Ogilvy viewpoint, I have no words to explain that view. And even my camera, that is not doing justice to those views. Standing up at that viewpoint, looking at that vast, huge landscape, I realized, like how vast it is and how small we are on this globe and how big are our egos. Doing this trip was like going to the Mother Nature school, and I came back with so much gratitude, and I want to go back and connect with that Mother Nature again and again and again. If not up in the north, then maybe somewhere else, maybe here. It could be anywhere, but that trip kind of opened our vision more to connect with nature. So from there on, we carried on. Then we met a local resident, a big black bear. He was just walking along the highway, and we slowed down. We made a video, and he never bothered us. He looked and walked away. We made a video. We laughed, smiled, and we carried on. None of us bothered each other. So that was a very interesting interaction. Before reaching Eagle Plains, I guess before we arrived about that stretch, which was before Eagle Plains, that was very slippery because I guess it rained before we arrived. We are about to reach Eagle Plains. Just about 20 more kilometers to go. The thing which I want to mention is after Ogilvy Ridge, the road is pretty bumpy. Like, it is clear wide road, you can go faster, but it has a lot of loose gravel and potholes. Those can be deceiving when you're going fast. And about 40 kilometers from Eagle Plains, I guess it rained before we arrived, and the road was slippery. And this is I'm just taking it slow because like a wrong brake application can take you into a ditch or something, so you don't want to be off the road in this part of the world because you don't know like when you will get the help. So just take it slow, and potholes plus the slippery road, that is not worth going faster. Eagle Plain is the gas station, which is at 369 kilometer of the Dempster highway, just before entering the Arctic Circle. I guess about 34-35 kilometers before Arctic Circle. So that has Eagle Plain has I guess a mechanic shop, a motel, a campsite, and a gas station. That's it. That's all they have. And there is I don't think there is any community there. So we filled up the gas and then we carried on. It was about 8 o'clock because we reached before the gas station closure. I guess the time was 8, I am not sure, but make sure you arrive Eagle Plains before gas station close if you want to carry on the same day. So then we reached almost Arctic Circle, but we pulled up the hill. There was a pullout, and we stayed overnight. And our experience, that was the first time ever we entered the land which is called the land of midnight sun, and it was real. The video which is coming up, that was recorded just before midnight, and then I kept recording even after 1 o'clock, 1:30. It was sunlight, it was real sun up in the sky. Right now 11:53, 11th of June 1919. We are almost at the Arctic Circle, 3 kilometers south to it, in a wide open area. We thought we should spend night here before we head towards the Inuvik. The sun is still way above the horizon, you can see in this video, and it is creating a dramatic effect in our RV too. Look at this one, we had a shiny pillow, and it comes, light is coming straight on it, and it is reflecting to the roof. That is so interesting. Wow. So everyone is trying to sleep. Here is Mitab. Here we go. But no one wants to sleep. And I am recording a time lapse outside. You can see the daylight. It's 11:55 at night now. Here we go. Officially, we are at Arctic Circle, land of midnight sun, and we have entered the Arctic. That is so amazing experience. Long days of summer contrast with the long nights of winter, and on June 22nd every year, sun never falls below the horizon. Landscapes are so beautiful, beyond words, hard to explain, impossible to catch with the cameras. Yes, we can do our best to capture the moment with our cameras, but it's an experience. You can try to capture whatever you can with your cameras, videos, photographs, but it's impossible to put everything into words. So you have to get here to experience this amazing land. Entering Northwest Territories from Yukon, the border is on the right pass. Now we are entering the Northwest Territories. This is called the right pass. We are entering the Northwest Territories. Wow, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And that spot is very windy. Both times we went up and came down, it was windy all the time, and I was a little cautious about our trailer that because the wind was so high both ways, and it was not a bad weather, it was okay weather when we went through. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ northwest Rocky Mountain ਦੀ range sign ਹੈਗਾ you welcome to Yukon. Welcome to Northwest Territories. So be a little cautious about those winds, but that border of Yukon and Northwest Territories, beautiful. And there is a small hike too. If when you're going towards Northwest Territories, to your left, there is a small hike there. You can read that in the Dempster Highway log. And from that point, the log starts again from kilometer 0 onwards towards the Inuvik. And you have to go through all those Richardson Mountains, which is the northernmost range of the Rocky Mountains in North America. From there, you have to cross two rivers. The first river is Peel River, which is not a huge river, but there is no river crossing other than a ice road in winter or a ferry in the summertime. And there is no crossing during the freezing and the breakup period during fall and the spring. Fort McPherson is a small community of about 900 people, just 12 kilometers from the Peel River crossing. It is also the home of the Fort McPherson 1010 Conveyance Company. It also has some historic importance because it has a national historic site that consists of the remains of Hudson Bay Company trading post as it was in 19th and early 20th century, and of the post of the Royal Northwest Mounted Police, as well as the existing Anglican and the Roman Catholic missions. We did a quick stop to top up the gas tank and then we left towards the Inuvik. But be careful between Fort McPherson, that is kilometer 86 on the Dempster Highway on Northwest Territory side, to kilometer 142, that is Mackenzie River crossing. That section is full of loose gravel. If you slow down for the oncoming traffic, you might save your windshield. Actually, we lost our RV window glass completely on our way back. And do not get surprised if you come across a lot of spruce and other trees around Fort McPherson, because Mackenzie River provides appropriate soil and climate for those trees to grow there naturally. When you go across the Peel River, the next biggest river, Mighty Mackenzie, that is the largest river on this journey. You have to cross it by a ferry because there is no river crossing for that river as well. In the winter time, same thing, ice road, and in the summertime, a ferry. You cannot cross that river during the fall at the freezing time and during the spring during the ice breakup. After crossing the Mackenzie River, Inuvik is not too far. And when we reached Inuvik, we again got on the paved road, and Inuvik has only one traffic light. And when you enter the town, first is the airport, and then you reach that big, huge sign. It says "End of Dempster Highway." So we stayed in a Happy Valley campground in Inuvik. This town has almost everything you can imagine: hospital, recreation centers, a bigger nursery, shopping malls, whatever you need for your living, they have it, and it is very well established town. They have about 3,400 population of that town. Next morning, we wake up and we decided to hit the Arctic Ocean because it was going to rain the next day, so we thought we should do it day before. A very unique road which will take you 150 kilometers from Inuvik to Tuktoyaktuk. Kids enjoyed it, we enjoyed it, we kept stopping along the way, and then when we hit that sign, Arctic Ocean, and that was the northern edge of the earth. We can't believe it, we made it there. So that was a good feeling. Then we did that ritual of dipping your toe in the Arctic Ocean. They will give you a certificate that you officially dipped your toe in the Arctic Ocean. Interesting part is, where that sign is, Arctic Ocean, just a couple of 100 meters from there, there is another sign which says Trans-Canada Trail. That is the sign, that is the landmark where Trans-Canada Trail begins. So we took our pictures, we spent almost full day there. Another interesting part of that small community is they have pingus. Pingus is very interesting structure. It is ice mass covered with the earth, and they are up to 70 meter high. They have a viewing platform. We enjoyed them from that viewing platform. You can see them in the distance. That is very interesting thing, because those things we don't see up on west coast here or any other coast, because they are specifically in that area, because frozen ice is kind of popped up and then it's covered by the earth. Also, their houses are made above from the ground, and even their sewer system is above the ground, because they cannot dig down into the land, because it is frozen 24 hours 7 for 12 months a year. So there is no digging. And another interesting fact about that region is there are no trees at all. Like, if there are any trees, they will not be taller than myself, I guess, and they will be just in small bunches. And when you look at them, they look like a bush, but that is not a bush. It could be a 200 or 300 years old tree. It cannot have big roots, so that's why it does not grow very tall. So that is also, you need time to experience all those things. So when you're trying to, if you're trying to make that journey, then do not rush it, take your time. So that is the part of our journey. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope that will motivate some of you, so you guys can make it all the way to the Arctic Ocean. And on this trip, we never ended just by touching the northern edge of the earth. On the way back, we went to Carcross Desert. That is also the world's smallest desert. And we also went to Hyder, Alaska. And most interesting part is Salmon Glacier, which is the 5th largest glacier of North America. So keep following us. I am going to be putting all my experiences up here in coming months. So I know I am slow, but I work full-time as well. So this is my hobby. I love to share my work, my travels, and I want to motivate everyone out there, because we got this opportunity to live on this beautiful earth. Why not explore it? So that's my goal. Please do not forget to subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.